good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever you are watching us from, please national politics on the streets. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our video, share, comment for more political discussion. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our videos, share, comment for more political discussion. Yesterday, after the Hausa have given the Fulani a quick notice to vacate their land in the northern region now, the Yoruba are so safer. They're giving the Fulani areas the 7 days ultimatum in those states to vacate all those states, citing that the Fulani has caused so many havoc in the land. Here a video going down, we say our houses were being born in that region. How can we react this?
We will not continue to experience that, given the fact that we have had 219 years of killing in the entire north by as a result of the Fulani invasion in the northern part of the country. These 219 years has been bloody for Hausas in the north, have been very, very damaging for the entire northern region. And as a result of the continued political and Fulani hegemony in the entire northern region, they are continuously trying to subdue the entire north. And what we are seeing, they have come out, several times to make a certain statement that when they are done with the agenda of conquest, then the next place they are possibly going to advance south. So everybody needs to be very conscious when it comes to this matter of issues. It is happening right there in the bushes. Now, you might not know, these are people who are bent on achieving and make the entire Nigeria their indigenous abode. We will not take that away from happenings around at this moment. It's not going to stop. What is really going to stop is for people, regions, elders, ethnic laws to sit down family and know exactly what to do. There's a kind of infiltration, that is taking place gradually, especially in the southern west here, western part of the country, talking about the Yoruba nation, through Lagos, they are coming in their numbers every day, every night. We see them, coming in their numbers. These people that are coming in their, are what can be referred as possible Fulani foot soldiers. You can find them in every nook and cranny in the entire southwest. And you can see the rate of which they carry out their guerrilla attack. That comes in form of conquest. That's what you're saying is a conquest, and it's one of the doctrines that was established as at that time by the then Uthman Dafodio, who came and he placed his authority on the core indigenous of the northern part of the country, talking about Hausas. And the fact we will not take away from there is that if you look at how the so-called Hausas or the Nigerians, the way they operate, they seem to be having the kind of orientation the Fulanis also have, So that makes it difficult to understand whether, is it true that the Hausas are actually peaceful? They are not like, they are not actually Fulanized. But you look at the way, the manner of which they operate, they do the operations within the entire Southwest. You can see how that traces, of Fulanization in them. You can still see that traces of conquest in them, especially in most bushes across the Yoruba nation, across the west here, and you can see what they are saying. It's not only quick notice in Ondo State. We need to look into it very well, and make sure that there's a kind of security network, that will begin to demobilize their presence in the bush. These are people, they don't care. They come to the red way, the red way. That's one of the problems. Most of them, come to the red way. They have different cells and network of which they pass arms, around, and that agenda is, in their DNA. You understand? They are being told what to do. They are kind of a certain instruction, that was part of the conquest agenda. So the Yorubas is not a matter of Nigeria. No, Nigeria is just a name. Nigeria is just a name. Nigeria does not represent a nation, a tribe. Nigeria is just a name. So if it means that Nigeria has to go as a name, let it go. You understand? This struggle to keep Nigeria one, and people are losing their lives on daily basis, as a result of conquest, as a result of certain build up, of certain ideology in the surroundings, or in some countries that have boundaries with Nigeria. Talking about Chad, Nigeria, and the rest of them, Mali, and the rest of them, here they have a kind of training background where they stay and develop a certain ideology, of content. So the Yoruba nation needs to look at it from different directions. This is not a matter of Nigeria, because as I'm talking to you now, in the last few years, less than 10 years now, we are talking about over 40,000 Yorubas has been kidnapped and murdered. So,
in spite of that, what do you think if everybody change the way this career? Don't you think there might be food scarcity? But majority of them are farmers. So don't you think it should be a setback for such people?
I don't know what you mean by farmers. If they are farmers, they should be busy in their farm, doing their farming business and all that. I'm not sure they are actually farmers. When you're talking about food scarcity, that's what I'm telling you now. These are extremists, from that has developed a certain agenda, or they have been radicalized to an extent, of trying to achieve a certain agenda, believing that, as Fulanis, irrespective of how they are in the minority, Nigeria belongs to them. That's their understanding, that's their perception, and coupled with religion, they do not separate religion from secular knowledge and civility. They don't do that. They don't even know how to put away politics from religion. So it's a major issue, and every effort by successive government of Nigeria, to eliminate local region has automatically failed. So the South has continued to bear that brunt over the years. So if you're talking about farming, I don't think that assumption is actually correct, because they say necessity is the mother of invention. If there's any situation like this, why? There can be an agenda that can be channeled towards that direction. We have the human resources. We have the land, we have the what it takes, if actually the government mean business, to generate our own agriculture and be able to meet our agricultural needs. So the fact that the Fulanis are farmers and they should be tolerated anywhere, I don't think that is correct.
Okay, sir. Away from that, we saw how Fulani caused havoc in Enugu State just some days ago, and most persons are supposed to alarm. Now, why is Governor Peter Mbah silent? We saw the video going viral. So now, what do you think the governor should have done? And now, the governor has come out to make declarations that he has approached the federal government, and the army is doing everything to stop that killing in Enugu State.
I think for immediate response, that community has experienced attack for more than 2, 3, 4 times. And each time such things happen, we see government come out to say always that they are on top of the situation, that the military is doing this, that the police is doing this, that the community people is doing that. At the end of the day, it does not bring the required success that is being expected, to checkmate the security situations, challenges in those areas. But for me, the first thing they needed to do, is to move a military barracks within that community and station a military barracks within that community. That is the first thing they needed to do. Then, on the side of the governor himself, I do not think that the governor should keep quiet and not do anything in that regard, because the people have been murdered by invaders, you understand, or by Boko Haram, whatever you call them, So we need not to do that. If you do that, he will definitely have issues with the people. But what we are saying in this regard, we have not been seeing, a quick response from government in that regard. We have not been seeing massive response from the federal government in that regard. So that has emboldened these attacks coming often that we expected. So if you look at it generally, it requires the military, the police, and of course the federal government to do certain things, that will put a hold to subsequent attack of that nature next time. But away from that too, I think Nigeria should start looking towards, conducting a referendum for a possible confederation. So if there's a confederation, it will go a long way. When you talk about confederation, this is one of the things, that certain figures, in Nigeria, we are actually misled to believe that Ojukwu wanted secession. What Ojukwu was asking for, is autonomy of his own region. And that is confederation. How in case of to stop and some of these attacks like this. So that is what another way to actually stop or checkmate the excessive Fulani invasion in most communities in the Enugu state, and of course the entire eastern part of the country. Not only that, we are seeing several attacks like that in also being reported in some places in Delta states too, where the same people are carrying out a kind of guerrilla attack, and before you know it, they disappear into the forest. So there's need for us to look at these options and see how we can come up with a better resolution to actually stop them. Stop them whichever way to stop them. Because the agenda, might not go well for Nigerians.
As I said, there's the need for us to stop them because the agenda might not go well for Nigeria and for Nigerians. And it's a question like I do, more